So do we need the Battle Pass seasons to be reworked? Well, let's talk a little bit about the rewards of it and why I think there are some tweaks that can be done over here to make the Battle Pass a little bit more sellable, to be honest, and a little bit more fun. So I went here to this wiki page and I noticed that we have all the seasons, of course, here. We had 20 seasons already. And I tried to kind of have a general perspective of what the rewards were. And I draw some conclusions here, okay? The first one is that besides Strike Master, if I'm not mistaken, we never had, or we have very few jets being added. This is one of the problems that I think are happening. Why is that? Because every single time, B7, for example, here, the J26, which is a P51, if I'm not mistaken, right? BF109s, you can see that F2G, this is a pretty good one. We're going to talk about this one. This was one of the best Battle Pass seasons ever, and it was the first one. ITP, I mean, okay, but still P39K, Q. You can see that the first problem, Bill Fighter, is that SB25J, the aircraft normally, guys, are copy-paste, okay? They're normally props, and they're normally copy-paste, or very similar vehicles to what we have in the game, okay? So in a general perspective, if you take a look on all the Battle Pass seasons, you will see that the majority of the aircraft are just aircraft that we already had in the game, or slightly modified, versions, maybe a copy-paste to another nation, which is fine sometimes, but when it's almost every single time, it's a little bit complicated, right? So this is one of the points. Try to bring, if you are listening, Gaijin, we need more stuff like the Strike Master, okay? Because the Strike Master, although it isn't the greatest thing ever, it is unique. It's very different, and it brings something different to the table. When you bring just another B7, a J26 like this, which is, like I said, a P51, right? The SB25 that we had, etc. Not a lot of people will want to get it. I'm not going to talk too much about ships because I don't know much about these ships, but I can tell you for sure that aircraft is one of the reasons why the Battle Pass feels a little bit lacking lately, okay? The second thing is the tanks. So the tanks, guys, normally are much better on the terms of uniqueness, okay? So, for example, this one, we had the Breda. This one, we had the SPZ-12. So you can see they're very unique. Centurion Mark II, I mean, it's nothing too crazy, but a Centurion Mark II is not in the game, right? So it's pretty cool to have something like this. AMX-50, TO-90, right? So we have something similar in the tech tree, but it is a bit different. We have the T10A. Like I said, this one was one of the best ones ever because, I mean, the F2G, it's the Super Corsair. A lot of people wanted this vehicle. The Matilda Hedgehog is an amazing, interesting vehicle, very different. And the T10A, I still see a lot of these driving around and killing targets. And it is just a very cool tank, okay? But yeah, Centurion Mark 5-1. I mean, this is a very unique version of the Centurion. Very cool to have it. T55, I mean, very cool. The TOW D2, M6A2, the PT7657, LVT4. I mean, all of these vehicles, the WZ141, right? So all these vehicles are very interesting, very interesting. So you can already show that the other vehicles are not up to the tanks levels. I still believe we have a small problem here that they try overall to not have like closer to higher tier vehicles. So still, I mean, like I said, if you really go to the first season, it is one of the highest ranking vehicles that we had, a rank 4 T10. And after that, I mean, we had something like the Centurion Mark 5. So at the early stages, it was pretty interesting. But lately, the more we go to the future over here, you will see that there isn't a lot of vehicles that are, from time to time, you have it, but it's not, it's normally a rank 4, max rank 5, which is great, but honestly, why not add sometimes rank 6, rank 7, right? That goes for the aircraft as well. This would make people want to play more. So although the tanks are pretty good, and, I mean, looking at back right now, for example, I really wanted the Centurion Mark V. Why didn't I play with it, right? Why didn't I get it? So back in the day, I thought it was just going to be like this forever. But lately, weird things are happening, right? Something like this, it's not the greatest thing ever, but it is interesting because it isn't in that tech tree. M46 for France, I mean, not the greatest thing ever, but it's still pretty interesting, right? The HE-177, interesting aircraft, but it's not it's not what we normally have for aircraft. So there are some situations. Is the Choleff very interesting vehicle, so overall, guys, you can see that there are some interesting vehicles, but overall, they are rank 5, 4, so this is another problem. I think one of them is the aircraft. They are a lot of times copy-paste, and the tanks are very unique and very cool, but they are normally not higher tier, which is something that they can do from time to time. I'm not saying every single time, but from time to time, we deserve to have a rank 6, a rank 5 on the very least, but a rank 6, a rank 7 maybe, Battle Pass vehicle. I think it would be very cool. I know event vehicles are more focused on that, but it would be cool no matter what, right? Doesn't need to be all the time, but yeah. And the last problem that you can notice over here, it's something that they actually change it, and I don't think they will change, but honestly, I would bring it back. For example, here, guys, we have 4 vehicles, okay? We have a low-tier tank, which is pretty good, and that would fix the problem that I was talking about, because if you have a low-tier tank, for example, you can have a high-tier tank being added, or a higher-tier tank, and it wouldn't be a problem, right? You can have both of them and, just be more worth it for the Battle Pass. Same goes for the aircraft. If we had a Battle Pass that had a lower tier aircraft, we can have one that has a higher tier. Maybe a rank 5. I mean, I don't think we ever had a rank 5 aircraft being added to the Battle Pass, which is kind of weird. If there is, it's like 1 or 2, maybe. I checked. I don't think there is, but yeah. But basically, the last problem is, look at this. 4 vehicles. Rank low, rank high, a boat, an aircraft. Okay. Then, they change it. And I know, it's been a while, but I still believe that they should go back with the older style of Battle Pass with 4 vehicles, or on the very least 3. Because 2 vehicles, yeah, once they're, there's so many vehicles that, it doesn't matter if there's just a Bell fighter over here that it's not that interesting. Oh, there's 2 other tanks and a ship, so it doesn't matter too much. But then you only have 2 now. And then one of them is a copy-paste. Why would you even spend the money to actually buy the Battle Pass? So this is a win-win scenario, guys. If they fix these 3 problems, which are very minor problems, to be honest, let's be honest, guys, you would pay a lot more money on Battle Pass. I know I would, So it would make more people be interested in the Battle Pass. I know most people that play aircraft don't get the Battle Pass to get the aircraft. They get the Battle Pass to get the tank, because normally the aircraft are not that interesting anyway, right? But at the same time, you can see that we have a lesser chance. It's a smaller chance of having something interesting just because we only have 2 vehicles. Of course, we have plenty of decals and decorations and everything, but let's be honest. People are not getting the Battle Pass for these. They're not paying 2,000 Golden Eagles to get the decorations. They're paying 2,000 Golden Eagles to be able to get these vehicles and get rewards. You get money, you get other things, right? So, for me personally, guys, I would play a lot more focused on the Battle Pass if we had more vehicles, if from time to time they were higher tier, lower tier, but variable, right? With higher tier included, and with less copy-paste. With these 3 problems solved, I think the Battle Pass would make a lot more success, and it would be a lot more interesting. I know the Battle Pass is something that a lot of people want, but at the same time, it is frustrated sometimes when you have to pay all that money to get, for example, a B-25, something like that, right? Or just a normal T-44, basically, with a slightly different chassis. Okay, not every single vehicle needs to be interesting, but at the same time, when most vehicles are copy-paste, especially for aircraft, it becomes kind of a problem. And I'm not even saying about boats, because I have a feeling that a lot of people like say that these boats are also kind of copy paste. So yeah, I mean, where are the Centurion Mark 5-1s, right, for different tech trees? Where are the T10As, the Super Corsairs, you know, the Matilda Hedgehogs, all in the same one? The M6, I mean, the PT-76, all the first ones on these battle passes, they were all very interesting vehicles, right? So yeah, let me know in the comments what you think. But honestly, in my opinion, these are the things that they need to change on the battle pass to make it worth it, okay? See you guys on the next one. Make sure to subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment, and bye guys, see ya.